It is such a joy to be with you, and we all come here together today because we are not alone. We stand with our brothers and sisters to stand for life. And it's a privilege to represent the great Diocese of Gary and to be here with so many people from our diocese. Thank you. For many years, I have prayed outside of abortion centers, trying to be a presence of love, faith, and support to the women and men who find themselves in a desperate situation of crisis pregnancy and think abortion is the only way out. Today, we stand in this cold weather as witnesses to the sacred gift of life, as sentinels of the dawn on high, to stand for the right to be born. I was drawn to the pro-life movement as a young priest as a result of counseling so many people whose lives had been severely wounded by abortion. Through 45 years of legal abortion in the United States, how many millions of human lives have been silently erased? How many mothers and fathers bear the wounds of a hasty decision to end the life they had co-created? How many impassioned words have been written and spoken to articulate the fundamental moral darkness of destroying fragile, beautiful human beings at the very dawn of their existence? And yet the killing goes on. Critics of the Church's stance on abortion will often say that we care more about life in the womb than those already born, that we passionately want to save a child from abortion, yet turn our backs on the mother who ends up choosing life. Yet the Catholic Church offers so much compassionate service through health care, education, and needed assistance to the poor, the homeless, the imprisoned, the elderly, the immigrant, and the unwed mother. Care and love for the human person must embrace all facets of our social fabric and include everyone in order to be authentic. But it must begin with life in the womb. If it does not, then the rest of our struggle to build a world of justice, peace, and mercy will forever be deficient. Several years ago, I was praying outside an abortion center in Milwaukee on a gray, melancholy morning, filled with icy wind and a threat of snow. One by one, young women emerged from the building, looking dazed and shocked, each carrying a brown paper bag with medication. Like wounded survivors returning from the front of an invisible and terrible war, they stepped into waiting cars of boyfriends, roommates, or parents, whisked away from the place where their child's life had just ended and their own emotional torment had just begun. I felt a profound sorrow in that moment that I had never experienced before, grieving for the victims of a needless and preventable tragedy. Then suddenly the owner of the abortion clinic emerged, hurrying through the cold and past us to reach the security of her Volvo. As she went by, I heard myself quietly saying more to myself than her, "Stop killing people here." She turned on me with rage and hurled obscenities and insults, but never denied that she was indeed complicit in the taking of human life. If someone had accused me of ending the life of another person, I would indignantly deny, explain, or defend myself against such a charge. But such was not the case. For years, we have thought that with the help of science, everyone could be convinced that a human fetus, even in the earliest stages of development, rapidly exhibits all the characteristics, components, and complexity of a developing human being. That the whole "it's just a blob of tissue" canard was false. We hoped that if we could just show the beauty, form, and wonder of unborn life, everyone would naturally see that this amazing being is human and abortion would cease. But of course, this has not happened. What I came to realize on that cold and sad February morning was that the real challenge is not convincing people that life in the womb is human, but rather helping everyone to see that every life has an inherent dignity which calls for respect, welcome, tenderness, and love. The Church's fundamental stance in so many moral issues flows from the truth that we are created in the image and likeness of God. But even an atheist can acknowledge the moral absolute, "Thou shalt not kill." because such respect for the life of the other is inscribed in our hearts and consciences. How will we ever see the homeless, the immigrant, the elderly, those with disabilities, the poor as blessings and not burdens, if we cannot welcome precious innocent life in the fragility of the womb? Perhaps the greatest challenge is to help everyone to recognize the gift and beauty of our own humanity. The culture of death seeks to diminish, to humanize, and destroy us. Jesus Christ has come to save, love, and forgive us. When we let in that redeeming light of the Lord, the shadows of death vanish, and our hearts long for a love that only God can give. Building a civilization of life and love is the fundamental task of the disciple of the Lord. We can only embrace such a daunting and luminous enterprise if we know our own worth, dignity, and beauty in the eyes of the one who kisses us from the cross and laid down his life so that we could be his forever. We stand today as witnesses to life. God bless all of you for being that witness that the world needs today. God bless all of you. Thank you.